Alright, our essential question says, what is the difference between an independent and a dependent variable? We have to differentiate them. It's the same thing you guys do in science. Key vocabulary. The independent variable is the input value, the variable that is chosen and plugged into a linear equation. If we're using the form y equals mx plus b, it would be represented by x. That is what we plug in. The independent variable is part of our domain. So I said earlier the independent variable is the I choose variable, is what I choose to plug into the equation. You plug in for x usually. The dependent variable is the output. When you plug in for x, you get out y. It's a variable that is given from the linear equation after the input of the independent variable. We usually represent it by y in the y equals mx plus b form. It's part of the range. And the way to remember that is it depends on something. Your dependent variable depends on what you plug in for x. So if something is dependent upon something else, that something is your dependent variable. This is a nice graphic organizer so we can keep in mind what terms we should associate with x. Your input, we plug in for x. Your output, you get out y. Your domain is a list of x values. Your range is a list of y values. And then the one we just learned today, your independent variable, would be things that you plug in for x. In a table, it would be whatever's listed on the left-hand side. In a graph, it would be whatever's along the x-axis. And then your dependent variable would be what you get out for y. It would be along the y-axis. It would be in the right-hand side of a table. If you feel like that is too much to write, you are taking these notes. You are the one who has to understand them. If you understand that dv stands for dependent variable because you recognize it from up here, then maybe just write dv. But they're your notes. So you are the one who is studying from these. I'm not going to take your notes and try to understand them because I know all of this stuff. You guys should make your notes understandable to you. Alright, if we have a situation where we're talking about how many hours we work versus how much money we earn, what is the independent variable? What do you have control over?
Hours you work.
Hours you work. The money you earn depends on how many hours you work. On a cell phone, we have the amount of data being used on the cell phone plan, and then we have the cost of the cell phone bill. What do you have control over? Alright, your grade versus the scores on your assignments. You have control over your scores, and as a result, you get certain grades.
I don't.
The result of the game versus how many points each team scores.
How many points?
The results depends on how many points you score. So you don't just say, oh, the home team wins, and now we'll give them 5 points. The home team gets 5 points, and as a result, they win the game. The temperature outside versus the cost of the heating bill.
You cannot control it.
You can't control it, but the weather controls the temperature, and as a result, your heating bill changes. You don't say, I want my heating bill to be $5, so then I'll make sure the temperature's low. The temperature is going to change your heating bill. Your heating bill depends on how hot it is outside. Well, we're talking about winter, so just the heating bill. The amount of sunlight versus inches a plant grows. Yeah, the amount of sunlight changes, and as a result, the plant grows. Amounts you study versus a test grade. You can control how much you study, and as a result, you would hopefully get a good grade on your test for studying a lot. All right, summarize. What is the difference between an independent and dependent variable? Do your summary right now. And then flip it over and answer the 6 questions on the back. So do your summary right now, flip it over, and answer the 6 questions on the back.
Why does it say 34
Mm-mm.